I'm sure things like this might happen at some point, but not to you. It didn't happen.
It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened.
Hello friends, trace amounts of science, welcome back to ReddX. Something unfortunate has happened to Gubbins. As you can tell, the hot dog man came in here, messed all types of stuff up, but we're trying to put it all back together. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody, Dark Gubbins?
Are you my new daddy? Can I have a hug? I promise not to stab you, but I might steal your wallet. Dark Gubbins.
Oh, Dark Gubbins, you are unsettling, but not quite as unsettling as the nice guys that I'm sure we'll see today. So we'll dive into it. Thanks so much for being here, friends, and I hope that you will enjoy. Date with a homophobic nice guy. How not to get a second date. Players, me, the OP, been openly bi since I was about 11 and currently in my 20s. N, the nice guy, went on a lot about how he doesn't have a girlfriend, but he's a nice guy, as though that deserves a medal, when actually that's just called being a decent human being. Yeah, he has a hard time with that one. I met NB through friends in 2019. He seemed nice, but did talk a lot about how girls he met would always mysteriously dump him after a few dates or ghost him. Well, I might suggest putting 2 and 2 together then, I tell people that I'm bi pretty quickly. I like to give the person the option to respectfully tell me that for personal or cultural reasons that being myself wouldn't work for them. Yeah, okay. This happens rarely when a person says something like they respect me and no hate, but it wouldn't go well with their family, for example. Sometimes you can end up friends with people who feel this way. No hate, just don't think it would work with you. I mean, I guess that's a fine way to go about life. Like, you don't vibe with some people. I don't think that has everything to do with your sexuality necessarily, but if that's a line in the sand for some people, then I guess it's a line in the sand. So I sit down and we're drinking coffee, and I see a good time to tell N that I am bi. We both have gay friends, so I wasn't expecting it to be a big deal. He also knew that I wasn't straight, but didn't know specifically what I identify as, so I told him, OP. So, and I just wanted to tell you that I'm bi, and I hope you're cool with that. And I don't trust your people! Excuse me, what? I wasn't sure whether to laugh or get angry. Your people, like we're some sort of hive mind or a unified collective of people who are all the same. I didn't like this. Yes, you know, your people, OP, the gays! And now's your opportunity to set them straight, I guess. Or forgive the phrasing. I got up to leave. I have a rule about people who react badly to being told this. If they react with homophobia, then they're not worth your time. Yeah, I guess there's a difference between being respectful and being outwardly like, I hate everything that you represent. It's a little over the top, I don't know. So he jumps up and reaches out a hand dramatically as OP tries to leave. No, I didn't mean we couldn't date. I still really like you, but unlike normal girls, you have to earn my trust. Oh my god. Because I can't just trust you like everybody else. But when I have proved myself, then he would totally trust me, just like everybody else. He said this with big, wide eyes, like in a tone of bounce that said, look how kind I am, giving you a chance despite you being bisexual. Aren't I a saint? I told him I ain't gotta do shit for him, and left. Probably the right way to go. I was angry, but we later had a conversation about what happened. He wanted to talk, but from his tone, I could see he didn't really want to get to know my point of view to change. He just felt burnt about getting walked out on. He finished up with, all girls just leave and don't want to give me a chance. Boy, we do give you a chance. Your attitude blows it. Enough said. Sorry about spelling the grammar, I'm immobile and just wanted to write this quickly. Yeah, that ain't too bad. I understand 100% where you're coming from. He really would have done anything to worm his way back in there, but I'm super glad that you did not let that happen. Any choice words of advice there, Dark Gubbins?
Sir, you are 2 awkward exhales away from putting on a fedora and writing slam poetry about why women fear intimacy. Dark Gubbins.
Why women fear intimacy? Yeah, because of dudes like this, I guess. You just going out for a coffee or something, and he's like, oh, I can't possibly, because we like the same set of genitalia, so I don't trust you. It's a really weird way to go, but whatever. I can't fix it, so we'll move on into another post. Oh, next tale. I'm not his type, but I should date him anyway, 'cause he's nice. He's just so nice. Won't you give him a chance? Nobody ever did. I love stories like this. TLDR, this guy dissed my appearance for years, saying that I wasn't his type, but was offended when I got a boyfriend because he was so nice that I should have considered him instead. Yeah, he's trying to do that, like, negging thing, which basically never works. So this is an old online interaction, and a bit after I stopped catfishing as a dude online to avoid stuff like this. Bro, what? Poor timing on my part. I met Bear, we're gonna call him that, on IMVU. Oh, I remember. Yeah, that's a terrible thing to open up in my brain, OP. We were both in a Bleach role-playing group and interacted pretty often. Bear and I had a lot of mutual friends, and eventually we started having one-on-one conversations there. I'm really into cosplay, but too shy to do it, so I kind of expressed that by being super dressed up and wearing makeup, so I feel like I have a costume on all the time. At this point, I'm not posting pictures of myself online, but I do talk about buying and trying wigs and makeup and the like, and this is where the weird stuff starts. Yeah, I mean, you're like, I want to do this fun thing for myself, and he's like, well, how can I make that all about me? Would you wear the makeup and wig that I want you to wear? It's just automatically really weird, and I don't understand why. I remember casually mentioning something along the lines of needing to fill in my brows before I went out, and Bear, who I was on Skype with at the time, made actual noises of disgust and said, he could never date someone who has to do that. If they don't have all their brows, then I don't want them, he said proudly. Oh yeah, I'm sure you're out there just sorting them all out, huh? Gotta beat them off with a stick, don't you, fella? He kept ranting about how disgusting it was and how undateable that would make someone, until I started just giving one-word replies, wondering why this topic was ever that serious. From there, it was anything, from me wearing wigs or heels or liking certain music or just anything that made me entirely undateable. And if I'm honest, it didn't bother me because at the point, I didn't find him dateable either. Yeah, I'm pretty sure no girl ever does. This is just like his tactic. He's rejecting you before you can reject him. Textbook, isn't it? I ended up talking to a guy who was also into alternative stuff, and we started flirting and vibing, so I spent more time talking to the other guy that we'll call Lex. Me and Bear started talking, and I mentioned Lex to him, and he seemed pretty unfazed. Nothing changed in our relationship, and I was happy that I found someone. Oh, I'd also like to mention that around this time, I got enough courage to post selfies in a group that we were in, and now he knew what I looked like, and that made the disses more detailed. I didn't want to leave that little bit out. Well, do we know what Bear looks like? That's what I want to know. Could I go and fucking tear a piece off? Because you know I will. I don't care one little bit. Oh, the gloves are coming off, are they? Okay. Roger that shit forever. Eventually Lex and I started dating, and I went and told Bear the day we made it official, and he flipped out and started yelling at me. I asked why he was mad, and he said, couldn't you tell that I liked you? What? When I responded, no, he yelled again about how I purposely ignored the signs and led him on, and that's what he gets for being so nice. I reminded him again how he continuously said that I wasn't his type, and he admitted that, yeah, I wasn't his type, but the fact that he was being nice shows he had some interest, and I should have considered him. Well, yeah, well, fucking take a number. Get in line, Pally. Like, what? You didn't ask. What do you want me to do if you don't ask? To this day, I don't understand the logic behind this sentence, but I simply told him I don't want to date a boy who doesn't like me. To this, he answered that he obviously did, and that I was an idiot and a user. He really did nothing for me, so I don't know how I used him. I even did free art and graphics for him when we were friends, so... And he said I didn't deserve him. He stopped talking to me after that, and I wasn't too bothered. IMVU died, Skype died, and I figured we'd both moved on to different things. Or so I thought. 2 years ago, I went to recover for some old art I did from my IMVU account and saw that for the past 5 years or so, he had been continuously messaging and gifting my old account as if nothing had happened, trying to start conversations or sending cutesy emotes. For 5 years, bro. That's about the most pathetic shit I ever heard. I don't wish anything bad on the guy, but I'm not gonna message him or anything. I'll just say good luck with whatever he's trying to do with my dead IMVU account, Lamau. Yeah, just hump the leg, I suppose. That's really all we can do at this point. You got anything to say about this one, Dark Gubbins?
He didn't like you. He liked the idea of you staying single and available forever, orbiting his fragile little ego like a dead moon. How pathetic. Dark Gubbins.
Damn, Dark Gubbins, you're pretty real. I wouldn't trust you around, my wallet or anywhere near me, basically, but he's got some insights. Everybody sees this guy for what he is. I guess I have to be grateful that it only really took place online, so that much easier to get away. Yeah, he messaged you for 5 fucking years. He's sort of just a little bit unhinged, you know what I mean? You need to be careful around that one, and I'm glad you got away. Looks like we still got some time, so we could hit another story. Why not? We got some very neckbeardy nice guy stories today. This one titled, 2 neckbeards call me slurs and try to assault me in the library when I tell them that I have a boyfriend. That seems a little over the top, doesn't it? But, yeah, I hope that they get their just desserts. So, this is the first time writing one of these stories, so sorry for the shitty quality. C, Nice Guy 1, J, Nice Guy 2. That's Carl and Jack. This year I'm a senior transsexual male-to-female girl in high school, and because of my schedule, I am an aide in the school library every other day for about 2 hours. We have different lunch periods, A through D, and each person has one of those 4. Bro, wait, already I don't really give a shit. You're going too nuanced, you know? I do have a boyfriend. This is important later. Just like information dump. Can we get some story now? Early this year, I ran into these 2 nice guys during C lunch in the library. Usually they just come to the library instead of the cafeteria, without a pass, of course, but I didn't have the authority to tell them off. Well, you know what you gotta do then? You just wave a gun in their face. That'll send the message. After I was done shelving books, I'd usually go over to the graphic novel section and find a manga to read on the comfy couches over there. Wow, what a job, huh? Look at you doing this job. You're doing the hell out of that job, ain't you? Fucking layabout. This, of course, was where those 2 nice guys were sitting every time they came to the library. One of them started calling over to me and just said, "Hey, beautiful!" So I replied with a simple and meek, "Thank you." And this continued pretty much every day that I was aiding again. I mean, so far so good, I guess, but you know how these things go. It starts out with, "Hey, beautiful," then they ask for the number, and it doesn't happen, and then the meltdown. So I'm not going to give them any credit just for being civil to start. So one day, Carl asked for my number. Luckily, I was smart enough to not give it out, but simultaneously stupid enough to offer my Discord to him. Later that night, Carl started saying some plain creepy things to me in the DMs that I would rather not repeat here because they were just so gross. Can you give me a clue? I probably don't want to. I probably regret asking. The next time I saw Carl and Jack in the library, they were sitting on the comfy couches and calling out to me again with, "Hey, beautiful," and proceeded to ask me out. Both of them, at the same time. I inform them that I've been dating a boy for the past year, and Carl accuses me of leading him on. Jack then says, "Bring me that honey bun bulge!" What? What? In all the realm of things that did not happen, this did not happen the most, okay? Maybe being a senior in high school is just fucking like way different than I remember, but I don't think any of what you said actually happened. want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, I would have understood like one guy asking you out, but two of them both at the same time. And one's talking about your honey bun bulge. Fuck. No. Get off my screen. I hate it. OP says, I'm wincing as I'm typing this. Carl followed up with, yeah, I want that bulge. Like I said, of all the things that did not happen, please, high school seniors, I can't buy it. I'm sorry. I corrected them saying that I was a girl, and Carl said that I was just a trap. Please make sure you inform viewers that word is a slur. Hey, that thing that everybody says on 4chan all the time, everybody, it's a slur. You shouldn't say that. Although, to be fair, it's not one of the worst slurs that you could say. Whatever, it's bad. Jack then added, the dick makes it better. Oh, God. These dudes they're fucking out to lunch. I don't know what's happening. You like what you like, okay, that's fine, but also, you're making it everybody else's problem, including mine. And I don't like that. I'm not gonna sign off on any of that. All this was grossing me out too much, and I tried to move away. Jay started moving toward me and grabbed my arm. Luckily, I was able to break free and ran behind the desk where the actual librarians would be able to see me if anything happened. I basically spent the rest of the day crying in the counselor's office, but I was able to identify them to administration, and they were suspended for a few days as well as banned from the library permanently. I, of course, blocked Carl on Discord. I still see them in the hallways, but I have informed them that if anything happens, I will press charges. I mean, as well you should. Anybody would press charges, but I don't know, man. This one seems just like slightly outlandish. How do you feel about this one, Dark Gubbins?
Ah yes, a totally real tale where two goblins co-op a library couch and transform rejection into assault. Try harder, fiction author. Your incel fanfic is showing. Dark Gubbins.
Damn, Dark Gubbins don't think it real either. Fucking based. I love that. Yeah, I'm sure things like this might happen at some point, but not to you. It didn't happen.
It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened.
This is just somebody screaming into the internet and trying to insist that, you know, they're desirable to absolutely everybody. I'm sorry. You're no Mary Sue. That's what I'll tell you. You're definitely written like one, but that's why I don't believe it. So we'll continue on into the next story, shall we? Oh, this one's short and sweet. A little behind on my rent. Opened up to a friend and he asks to do it. Well, I got a couple $100 I can loan you, but you gotta... That's terrible. I don't know. Is that a friend? That's terrible. OP says, I honestly can't believe it. I've never sent a nude in my life, and this guy I was becoming so interested in put the biggest red flag that I've ever personally experienced. I asked for a loan for 2 weeks, and he says if he had incentive, then he'd just let me keep it. I offered any material items as collateral, even offered my family pictures, but when none of the items seemed to be good enough for him, I got fed up and straight up asked, well, what do you want? You trying to buy my body? And I honestly was so surprised by his answer. Yeah, that way you could just keep the money. If only things were this simple. You know, I think it gets a little twisted up. I don't think that OP is willing to do all that. And good for her, honestly. Like, I understand times is tough. It's hard to make some fucking money out here. But this is sinking to the lowest depths as far as I'm concerned. OP says I begged for him to take anything else, but he wasn't having it. I literally felt like a dog with a treat being dangled over my head. I moved so I could regain my independence and my self-worth, and this was one of the lowest blows that I have ever faced. I'd sooner be homeless than sell my body, but honestly it freaking hurts because I thought this guy respected me only to find out that I was only a slam piece for him. A slam piece? Well, he paid, didn't he? No, it's really disrespectful to even ask. I don't know why that idea would ever cross your fucking mind. He's like, hey, can I get a loan? Do you ever walk into the pawn shop and offer them a piece of ass? TLDR, a little behind on rent, and was asked to sell my body by a nice guy. Yeah, that's how nice he was. He was willing to let you have the loan and just keep the money after, but also you have to do this thing that is basically disgusting. Yeah, that really hurts me deep down in my soul, but I guess that's what we're here for, isn't it? It's a short one. I don't need commentary from fucking gubbins. Let's move on. This story is, nice guy asked me to marry him 2 days after asking me out. Yeah. Is he Mormon? I know Mormons like to do that type of shit all the time. Anyway, approximately 3.5 years ago, a guy I went to school with asked me out 2 weeks after I got out of a relationship. I decided to give it a shot, hoping that it would help me move on from the previous relationship. Yeah, I guess rebound's still a thing. That was mistake number 1. 2 days after he asked me out, he took me out on a date, and he took me to a place that I will call Mountain Park. The sun was setting, and he took my hands. I'm gonna call him Mac for censorship reasons. Mac. So, I know we've been together for a couple of days, but I have a serious question for you. OP says, okay. Mac proceeded to get down on one knee and said, OP, ever since I met you, I knew I wanted to ask you this. OP last name, will you marry me? Yeah, how about no? And also, fuck no. What would possess you to even ask? Now, he and I had only known each other for about 3 years at this point, and as I had mentioned, he had only asked me out 2 days ago. I told him no, but I stayed with him. That was mistake number 2. Every day since that day, during the 2 months that we were together, he tried to convince me to marry him. He would rub my finger and say something along the lines of, there should be a ring on this finger. We should get your ring size. We should get your dress size, etc. He'd also buy many gifts and say something along the lines of, anything for my future wife. Even though I had said no to marrying him multiple times, talked about our future together. You'd stay at home and raise our 11 children. You'll clean up after everyone without any help, etc. Oh, yeah. That last one's really the clincher, isn't it? I can't wait to clean up after 11 human beings. That sounds like the highlight of my life. Oh, boy. Those were only what I could even remember. The biggest kicker was, while he was still dating me, he tried to flirt with my younger sister right next to me. And that was when I decided to end things. Wow, you put up with all that other bullshit, but the younger sister thing's really what got in your craw, huh? I guess, whatever. As long as you get the right answer eventually. For the next few years, he tried making new accounts on Facebook and Snapchat, which was why I deleted Snapchat after blocking him 27 times, and on Instagram, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to message me again using a different account today. He said that he still wants to be friends, but I immediately turned him down. Hey Mac, if you're reading this, fucking leave me alone. Long story short, nice guy asked me to marry him 2 days after asking me out, and he won't leave me alone. Well, yeah, that sounds like it about sums it up. I'm surprised that he got 2 months out of you. That's really unsettling that you would just be like, yeah, okay, well, we'll just keep it going for funsies. It's a fun thing to do right now until you keep telling him no, and he's like, if I can't have you, nobody can. He stabs you in your sleep and stuff. I've seen it happen before, bro. Don't fuck with it for real. Anyway, yeah, great post, I guess.
2 days in and he's proposing a hostage situation with vows. Romance speedrun straight into a restraining order. Dark Gubbins.
Yeah, the restraining order is like a S tier rank, I'm pretty sure. That means you did it extra really good. I don't think he's going to learn his lesson. But not my problem. We'll just move on into another one. Watch another train wreck feels pretty good, honestly. So join me over there. This OP asks, am I overreacting or am I in the right? And this might be worth overreacting subreddit. We haven't been there in a minute, mostly because it's like, way too over the top. But we'll see how this one goes. I, 19 male, have been crushing on my friend, 19 female, for about 2 years. Oh, the OP is the nice guy? crazy. Recently, I talked to her and somehow someone brought up Valentine's Day. Yeah, somehow somebody. I don't know how it got brought up. It wasn't me for sure. Just the day was approaching. I was like, hey, what do you think? She's like, okay, cool. I mentioned I'd never had a genuine Valentine and haven't really dated someone before. And she told me that out of our friends, she would prefer to date me. Well, that seems like a really nice thing at first until you realize that, yeah, you're still in the friend zone there. I wouldn't take that date, honestly. It sets the wrong precedent. I jokingly asked her if we could be a Valentine's, and I joked, and she acted super happy and said yes. Yeah, your joke wasn't really a joke. It was a joke unless. We ended up hanging out really close for a week or two, and even shared a few meals together. Eventually, on Valentine's Day, I brought her a bouquet and a plushie of a cow, which is her favorite animal, and she gave me some chocolate, too. Oh, look at this. That seems like a real Valentine's. Did they have the SpongeBob with the Tutti Frutti candy cane attached? Because that's all I will accept for my Valentine's. I'm telling you right, if you bring me anything else, it's going in the trash. We decided a week before to go to this weird Valentine's dance for her college, and we both showed up where I met her friends. Whoa, sounds like things getting official, huh? We kind of just hung out for a few minutes when this guy showed up who seemed to know her, and he apparently is some dude who really likes her. Damn, it's competition! She said he was just jealous of us, but I wasn't really buying it. Eventually, we went to go dance to a slow song. We were halfway through the song when she said if it was okay if she could go and dance with him. Bro, you got cucked at the dance? The weird college Valentine's dance? On your first Valentine's ever? Oh my god, I feel for you. You're breaking my heart right now, you know? This is most unfortunate. I was really confused when she asked me, but I reluctantly agreed. She went with him, and I just sat on the side of the room. After a little bit, she came back and said she was sorry. They both hung out all night, and I became the third wheel. I eventually just decided to let them be, since we probably wouldn't have worked out anyway. She came over to me and said she just wanted to stay friends, and I said I agreed, even though inside I did not. I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I saw her making out with the other guy, in front of me, not even trying to hide it. Bro, fucking F in the chat, honestly. That's so sad. I'm sorry you had to experience that. Like, this is outright evil. Maybe she didn't plan it out to be some big evil thing, but this is fucking life-changing stuff right here. Evil! You didn't miss much. She's a harpy. She's trying to steal your soul away, OP. Run away while there's still time. We left and still talk every now and again, but I feel really uncomfortable around her, and I don't know if I'm overreacting or if I deserve to feel upset with her. What should I do? Fucking, yeah, take the L and move on, basically. That's all I can suggest. Try to avoid that situation in the future. Like, even when she said, oh, out of our friend group, I would date you, and yeah, you know that's not really a real date, right? You know? It's setting the wrong precedent, the wrong tone, and you fell right for the trap. You hate to see it, honestly. I'm sorry to see it happen to you, OP, but hopefully you learned a bit of a lesson, and we're doing better now. Maybe. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, Patreon, YouTube memberships, I'd appreciate that a heck of a lot. Fourth wall, if you want some merch. Dark Gubbins pillow, maybe coming soon, perhaps. I don't know. Do you want Dark Gubbins, or should I change them back to regular Gubbins? We got some options, so let me know how you feel down in the comments. I appreciate you. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you're worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.